understand his side, he's trying to sell houses, they just need it for an inspection. He doesn't mind paying for the water, what's used, it's minimal, like, not even, I don't know how many gallons are really used for an inspection, maybe 5 or 6 gallons, depending if they had a leak or something. I also went on the other side of it and said, well, you have to understand this side of the business, you know, I'm taking somebody from the field that's working on something, using fuel, using this, going to turn it on, then turn around, go turn it back off. I mean, I get both sides. But I do understand, you know, he's a business, they're trying to sell, I mean, which way do you go? So I told him I'd discuss it with council.
Why aren't they just turning it off on the, you're talking about, water? Yeah, well, they should have a valve to turn it off themselves.
Yeah, hardly anybody has a valve. Yeah, we like to push that feature with a valve, but yeah.
But they don't wanna pay for a monthly
That
water
monthly
rate
fee is what,
either.
they shut the water off when they put the house up for sale.
Oh,
So the water gets turned off whenever,
That tenants moved out.
Yeah.
okay, I got you.
it's an ongoing battle,
Need it.
but
What
I,
is that?
Something in the middle, there's something in the middle.
How much is
It
it?
really is that type of situation.
it's $30 for turn on, $30 for turn off. That came up when we have a lot of people that leave during the winter, and so we turn it off while they're gone and put their account on hold, and then when they come back, it's another fee to turn it back
You know,
on.
this is you're talking about a special circumstance, so 72 hours or,
Less, yes,
you know what I mean? And so
depending on what the guys have, end up doing, like if there's an emergency or something, they can't get to it, yeah, it's 72.
so I mean,
Last time on our end, it takes us 4 days instead of 3 days to get it turned back off, that's on our end.
Pending,
But we
they're
did,
supposed to call and let us know that the inspector's done, but typically, it just depends on if it's scheduled. It can, there's a lot of different scenarios.
Right.
but we would still have a very specific schedule. For $30, you get an on and off, if it all takes place within 72 hours. Or,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Right,
I mean, I get the 30 coming and going, well, okay, then 30, one-time charge, but here's all the time you get. You don't get 30 to turn on and leave it on for 2 weeks.
Right.
Yeah. If that's the issue. Relatedly, something just jogged in my head from a semi-casual conversation. Let me see if I can remember what it was now. The fee to change a name on the bill. That's what it was.
To change a name,
Yeah.
there's no fee.
Here's what I remember. The conversation was, I just want to put my name on the bill that I've actually been paying for, anyway. And was told it would be, I don't even remember the number, I won't bring that up.
So, okay, so,
Transferring.
Well, I'll make it personal.
well, we don't have to, because I know in regards of what you're speaking of. Okay, so we have people that will come in and say, I'm gonna put my name on this bill, I've been paying it anyways, like this situation. Number one, how do I know it's true? Number two, we've had several instances where somebody comes in and prior, that would come in and do that and switch or turn off the water or, and it was actually when he was lapped. And we didn't catch it till months later. I mean, I need ID, I need a rental agreement. If you don't own the house, there's been times where people would come in and they would put a deposit down on a house and be living in it and the owner didn't know it.
Well, yeah, I mean,
And
I
so
always,
that's-
my deal, the old phrase, trust but verify.
Right.
But if it, and I was gonna make it personal, okay, if I come in and say, you know what, put 308 North Sixth Street in my name, Albert Ferris, 16 Lawrence. Same last name. I have a story about me trying to check in and we had to make a reservation at a hotel. And I said, it's the same last name. Do you have that a lot? People coming in with the same last name and stealing somebody's room? Anyway, I gave them a little extra credit. Really, so is that a big deal in America? But,
Actually, I have a mother and a daughter right now fighting. I'm telling
and
you.
that's the exception, and here's my deal, that's the exception, not the rule.
Exactly.
And you can't, and so my deal is, back to the question, to say, wow, verifiable, you know, trust but verify, but everybody's verifiable, complete with IDs, et cetera. I don't know that we ought to charge $100 to change the name on a billing list. Once verified.
I mean, we can look
And
into
the other
it.
scenario, if we screw up on our end, because we don't know what's going on, then we screwed up on our end, and we go to the mirror and say, somebody's gotta work harder and be smarter, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's easier to have a policy in effect for people across the board, so you don't get questioned because I'm here and we
Oh,
don't,
yeah.
You do more money, you do mine.
Right.
Exactly.
And we
Well,
have that
exactly,
all
say,
the
here's
time.
here's the protocol. Yeah, with this, and this, you bet we can. And to me, I mean, both parties need to be present and accounted for. The one taking off and one being added.
Yes.
You see, I mean.
No, I get it. I get it. Now, we'll add a name with verification of, to the account. It's circumstantial, like, if the deposit's not correct and you're changing all of the bill, you know, there's just different. I tell my girls they need to follow policy on all of it and everybody's following the same policy, no matter what. Because if we don't, it comes back because they heard from somebody else and we get the brunt and the yelling and the mad and the unruly customer. It's like you said, well, why didn't you do it tonight? Well, I can't verify that. Well, then they don't care. They don't care.
They don't care what.
If
That
you
it's
can
different.
verify, yes.
They don't care that I verified this person, that's why it was changed, and I can't verify you. Well, and that's where, okay, the girls or anybody else have to learn to say, you know it's not the same, right? If you don't know it, I can, after hours, I can coach you up a little bit on how to think. Because you're missing a strategic element. You can say that nicer than I did, or you can say it meaner than I did, but, I mean, you know what I mean? If it's not the same, it's not the same. Quit trying to play up, it's the same.
I understand. It's
But I
easier said
understand
than done,
protocol and
but
processes, but I also understand, boy, you always gotta think while you work. Because we will never pass we pass a lot of little ordinances here that are trying to address every possible scenario, and it's like fair and equitable in all of that. With a process and protocol that is consistently adopted.
Okay, are we needing to do something about that?
No, about what?
What we just brought up?
The fee schedule?
Yes.
No, we just need to discuss it, and the fee schedule is something that we vote on every year with the budget, and so that's something that needs to be in place. And I like to bring it early so we can, if there's anything there.
What is it at now? You said it used to be 30.
The turn on and turn off, it's still 30.
Oh,
You're late.
It used to be 15, like, in 1988. It was
That's
$15.
30 to turn it on, 30 to turn it off.
it doesn't seem unreasonable considering you're taking somebody off of the job using a vehicle.
I didn't think so either.
I get it though.
Is this a new realtor?
No, this is a conversation I have every time he sells a house.
Oh. Well, so then he knows the rules.
And I get both sides.
Well, that's just a pass-through charge anyway. I mean, it's got to be.
He taxes it on them. It's part of
You
the
got to.
inspection.
Kind of. If they don't, if they decide not to buy it, then we fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's already had inspection, so we have to do it.
And
So, I get it, but I don't think it's unreasonable.
I just wanted something
Yeah.
to see what y'all's thoughts were on that, because that's something that we do get flack for as well.
Well, I could see it being less to turn it back off if they do it within a time frame.
Yeah.
You know, make it 20 minutes, but only if it's within that time frame.
You're still pulling somebody twice.
If it gives you notification,
It could be 10 minutes.
might be an option. That
Well, the
notification.
inspector's here, come turn it on.
Which they usually do, and I told him, I said, I need you, and we need to make sure that the inspector's gonna be there, so we're not leaving this on for
Yeah.
so many days and whatnot, and when we're turning it off, we need to know, communication. And he understands that, he just doesn't understand the $60. And he understood it after we spoke, and he got a little heated, right after that conversation. He called back the next day and apologized and understood, but he still wanted to make sure that we knew where he was coming from.
Any of the other realtors complaining about it, or just?
No.
Sure none of them like it.
I don't like paying my water bill, but I think.
Well, no.
Okay.
But I still do.
Yeah.
I like it. Makes me feel like a
Sure.
good person.
We have a table, the splash pad rental.
Well, I guess, do a little bit more research and see guidelines, Marty's
Yeah, I won't do
guidelines.
that.
It's not taking any action.
Okay.
All right, so then we're going to go to review the budget and tax rate for 2027.
Mhm. Okay, we have this.
I saw the history thing, I like that, that's cool.
Industry, oh,
Page 6.
the tax rate history? Okay, there were a few things, let's see. On one specific, on street leases, again, we will be no longer leasing anything starting, November 1 of this budget, but we still have right at 60,000, in that budget for street department. Which is a great thing to have.
Yes.
A little bit, but.
Yes. Another is the PD. He did put those numbers in on the salaries. And then did the percentage for the ones that are sergeant or where they're at for the base pay, and then, for those, it was about 4% is what we calculated. And with all of that still being said, the ending fund is the 64,713. And then once you add in the court security fund, and sports technology, we have the 2,825 deficit. So we need to clean it up just a little bit more. Doug is very proud of this. He said this is absolutely amazing. We're still not transferring the transfer to the enterprise fund. the 210,000 has gone down to 130,000. So right now, we have, if you go to page 14, the economic development slash MDU, whatever you want to call it, we all know what that is. Right now, we have 35,000 in there, we can,
Needs them.
yes. But like I said, you have 60,000 in street right now for the leases that we will not be using, all of that, but it's there. I don't want to take that away just because moving on into the future, keeping that there,
Well, we are gonna be using the grader though. We're not gonna grader, right?
will pay cash.
No, I mean, the
The
one
one we're rating.
Yes. So I guess, yes, we could do that. We could be taking it out of there. We could take it out of there, heavy machine for this. This is also including the 3%. I do have, the COLA. I do have, documents that I'm working on for what y'all had mentioned for employees. I haven't quite gotten that to where I want it yet, but I'm getting there.
That's, you understand where I was coming from?
Oh, yeah,
I have a
100%.
problem with straight 3% across the board.
Right. No.
They're still a good employees, it doesn't matter if you're good or not. Their rates, you know?
Right. No, I do have that. I am working on those documents. I'm not crazy about them still yet, but in some of the information, but we're working on a point system, et cetera. Looking at different ones. Let's see. I do not believe. And this is keeping the tax rate at the same rate as last year. We're not increasing or decreasing, just keeping it the same.
Yeah, makes sense.
Here it is. Let's see if we have that right. Yes. Swimming pool receipts on the revenues in this budget, right now it says 16,616. We, on page 12, and I'll touch on that a little bit. Right now, we're totaling at 21,000 today. So that's about $500 difference from last year. So it's increasing on that, which is good. And I'm still trying to close the gap on that.
I don't know what I'm doing, yeah.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
never gonna
Okay,
make money
right
on
there,
that.
we've got that.
Right, you're never gonna make money on a pool, but we've done very well in closing the gap in the past few years, so.
We've been down there quite a bit this summer for everyone's information. Seems to be,
Well, it's busier every time I've been through there
It's-
than it has been in many years.
seems to be, kids, lifeguards, seem attended. Big crowd, they got several lifeguards out there, smaller crowds.
And they have asked to, if they have an option, they're already ready to do it again. They're excited. I just told them to send a proposal like we do every year and we'll, bring it to council. They have more ideas, so, which is good. There is one thing thing that we are discussing, Judge Owens came into my office last week, were you up there last week? Sharon? 2 weeks ago, and informed me of issues that when he went to a, school conference of issues that, what is it called, sovereign citizens that they have coming in and out of city halls. It's happening a lot in the bigger cities, of course, but we do have about 4 or 5 sovereign citizens in the city. We've had some issues that Sharon has had to escort somebody out, because they get too personal into people's spaces, here at City Hall. I do, and we do have citizens that are that irate that we have issues with. So we're discussing about, and I brought Stephen Adams to get quotes on trying to maybe close off the public access so much to the ladies and to myself. I still want to have an open door, but some of the issues that are arising that we have been seeing lately is concerns on safety. I don't want to put anybody, I mean, David's been in there listening to phone calls, and when people come in, Ray has, it's just, we're actually wanting to move, David's going to try to move over here, maybe see the man space might be a little different, attitude might change a little bit, I'm not sure. It just depends. So we are looking into, so if you have any ideas, go in there, look at City Hall, try to, the glass, the plexiglass coming up to where you can't just reach over the counter and,
Just
sit in
about
somebody's
every
face.
government entity has that feature.
Yes,
Even the police department, for
Yeah.
dispatch.
and I hate to take away from, this building, but, right. Because we do get people that come in and traveling and using the restroom and seeing how amazing it is, but, to me, safety first. Especially when we're now going to be locking Nikki's door, nobody's gonna be able to just walk in there, we have the door window. So, that's been addressed, it's just other things and other situations that we need to address as well.
If aesthetics is a problem, you can always put it in as an old style ticket window since it was a depot.
True. So if y'all have any.
You don't have to make it look ugly.
I
Right.
actually like that idea, yeah. The depot look.
So there's just a few ideas being thrown around, we're getting some quotes, seeing the different ideas and what else. And if you come by, go in there and look and see if you have any ideas, because I'm not a construction person, I just know what, safety wise, what we need to do.
So you go
Yeah, that's,
covers from the teller,
oh, I thought you meant,
when it was
It's always-
empty, no,
is that
when it
what
was
it's
empty, oh, there.
I think women should carry pistols personally.
Well,
Two
years
percent.
ago, it was set up, it was low, and they didn't want people coming and looking down over them. They didn't want that, so that's when they built them up.
Or they still, I mean,
No.
it's,
Having a masculine person, yeah, does statistically linger.
yes, it does. Big time.
Idea we want some new solvents here.
I didn't
I think
hear.
the government is not much as the
I
next.
know too.
Well, yeah, me too, but.
There's,
I
They
listen
looked
to
at
the
the traffic
show.
lights detector, no, they didn't want.
it'll be interesting.
Travel.
We are, insurance wise, Sharon did share a link with me that I'm looking to insurance wise, and then they are going out and looking, at TML, Blue Cross, there's different ones again and getting another quote since we did it 2 years ago, we'll do it again this year. So we are looking at that. They are, I course, increasing, so we do know that, and that's in there.
Do we do group life insurance as well? Just,
So right now, we still do the, vision, dental, life, MASA, and health. So, and dental and vision went down this year, so we've been saving money on that. I know, we got quotes and so I alternate dental and vision and health insurance, so I'm getting quotes, so every other year.
Something a little bit more down, is that true?
No, it was great. And if you notice with fire, year to date is pretty good compared to the budget, what the budget actually is. But we're keeping those numbers the same. Do y'all have any questions for, like David's, with the water treatment plant numbers, or Ford's number for Ray's?
I did have a question for David actually. So, I think you might have mentioned that the valve between the old lake and the new lake, that's broken.
It was stuck shut, but we got it open. We're
Okay, so
moving water
water's
over. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So once I'm assuming it's probably enough to fill up the new lake or no?
It won't be enough to fill up the new lake. Right now, it's gone up a foot in 2 weeks. We usually leave it open about a month, so we're hoping it goes up about 4 foot. Yes, sir.
Because I was looking at the old lake and it looks great. The new lake is not.
Yeah, it's going. It's gone up a foot.
Alright.
Do we draw out of the old lake?
What's that?
Do we draw water out of the old lake, David, or just the new?
I'm sorry.
The pumps,
Uh-huh.
do we
Oh,
pump any out of the old lake?
No, sir.
All
Only
out
from
of
the
the
new
lake?
Yes, sir. Only in,
Are we required to keep water in the old lake?
no.
Do we need, just let the water run into the new lake and then shut the
The
valve?
only thing that Randy told me is when they've done that before, I guess, and it would cause a lot of stuff to get stuck right there at the valve opening. So that's what he suggested for us to close it, in about a month. So like, there's a certain amount of steps on the side, and he said, once you get down to the 10th step, that's when they usually used to close it, because then you start getting all kinds of just like,
Limbs.
limbs and stuff just stuck there to where you couldn't even close it anymore.
We don't have a catch filter?
We have almost, I have no idea, sir. 1984 is when they put it in, so I have no idea.
Okay.
It's as old as I am, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's old.
Elaine, do you remember, I don't remember,
What, sir?
if they got any kind of filter on there?
At the lake?
Yeah.
I have pictures from 2012 where they cleaned out the backside of the dam for it to go to the new lake. It didn't look like it had anything, but that was on the, you know.
We used it as a dirt bike track in like maybe 2003 or so. There was no water.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything over there on that side, and I've jumped off that a lot.
I think it's just a straight
Might-
gate valve, just open and close. I just don't know if it gets stuck there, I just don't know.
Figure out some way to get all that water in there,
Yes, sir.
before we've got spending metal or whatever
Yes, sir.
going through, that we can actually go in there and clean up. some
Yes, sir,
water.
that'd be. It's just as far as I know, I've never heard anybody talking about it being completely drained or the old one cleaned out at the valve. I don't know.
Water.
I don't think it's ever been completely
The,
drained.
the,
They dried
the
up.
old lake? Yeah, it dried up.
Yeah, they had a dozer in the bottom cleaning out the channel. Back probably about 03, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be,
That was, yeah, maybe it was. And then after that 4 foot that you're anticipating, can we start using our water again, or is it still best to use?
what we're hoping
just
for,
don't know what the
what'll happen
maintenance-
right now, all the vegetation is getting the water on it, so all that's gonna start breaking down. Once that calms down, then we can start using our boundary water too.
No.
Because of right now, everything is getting covered up with the water, while the vegetation is gonna, the manganese is, if it's bad now, it'll be,
It's gonna be hard.
yes, sir.
So
Try
probably
how long
maybe-
that thing, is that right?
What's that?
And try how that thing's.
Yes, sir.
From the,
That's from
that's from the, vegetation.
So maybe like mid-fall?
That's what I'm hoping, end of September, and start using it. I mean, we're testing it weekly still, just like we do all our other tests, just like that, we know we have, what's going on in the lake right now.
So that should free up a little bit of money then.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Page 40 in the street department, I'm not sure, we do have the 275,000 in there for asphalt and bleaching. We had 175,000 used or budgeted for this year, we're gonna go up for next year, like we discussed. Then you can go down to the next page, to page 41. Right there, let's see. The vehicle operations, staying the same. The majority of that this year was the maintenance of the expense, so we will not have that expense, there, but we're keeping it at 25. And if you keep going down, the principal on no payments, that's where I was discussing the 60,000 that's budgeted. The interest on in debt is 3,310. So we will be utilizing about $200 of the 3,310 as of right now for the plan, as well as, pending on the principal, or for the no payments, we can take the lease up there in the hour every year. So that's a positive on those numbers right there. That's in the budget. Now that we have the recycle center building up, we can start utilizing our grant funds, with the COG and Keep Texas Beautiful and Texas Days and HEB and Coca-Cola, like we have been. So we'll reapply for those grants as well, and those are 100% grants. But we don't have that, because, obviously nothing's guaranteed until you apply for it and get accepted.
Yeah, that's true.
I will just say, it's pretty amazing how far this has come in the last couple of years. A lot less
what the life expectancy is?
Yes, I mean, yes and no. I mean, it could change. It depends on the, like, this year, we were going to do double what we have ready. But then when the county did all their stuff, then we didn't prep any more roads because we knew we weren't gonna do it. But, my goal is to double every year what we're doing the year before. So, and now that we got this new, the box, the lay-down box, we'll be able to do, I mean, it's, you're fixing to see a huge difference, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, what I'm asking is, there's only so much life in the street, okay? If there's 10 years life in the street, then we figure we gotta be back on the street for 10
Right.
years, okay? If there's 20 years, we gotta be back here. Do we have a master plan of taking care of all the streets over that period and be back to being
So,
able to do?
yeah, well, yes, so about 5 years is what we've been doing, or I say been doing, I've only been here 5 years, but this is what you can go back and blade patch, not really blade patch, but top, basically, without tearing out and repaving.
Right.
So you do that about every 5 years, it's gonna last a long time. This is just stuff that I've learned since I've been here, you know, like get a good pave down and then maintenance about every 5 years. And it all depends on the rainfall and all that as well too, because the way our drainage is, there's certain streets that are gonna just get hammered every time, so, you know, some of those streets really can't make a
13,
Yeah.
it's gonna wash out.
large,
That's-
13, you can't make a plan.
13 after rain notice.
But our basic city streets, I mean, you can go over there now, we've got about, it's a little over a mile ready, and we're just waiting on the county now to make the call, and we got the maintainer, we got them prepped, so that'll be, you know, a little over a mile's worth of paving done. They're not counting what we're doing with
But
what we
in
do.
5 years, we're
Yeah.
gonna be back over there where we're putting this down.
Yeah, go back and just top it, not tear it out and
Right.
totally reprep it, just put a one shot on it and put our cold mix on it instead of the rock, I guess you'd say.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, and give or take, depending on the street, if it doesn't have a lot of you know, drainage, whatever, then you don't have to do it. I mean, some of it may last 20 years, who knows? I mean, but that's kind of the pattern that,
What I'm saying is we need to get into,
yeah,
Pat,
Yes.
you and I discussed this before, I
Yeah.
just want
Yeah.
everybody else to hear.
yep.
We need to create a pattern where, okay, we need to look at Avenue, Phillips Avenue, we need to look at Third Street. Okay, in 5 years, where we at on it? Are we seeing cracks, do we need to get back over there and take care of that?
The maintenance schedule.
Yeah.
I think once we can get past the past 20 years that's been neglected and get, that way I think the maintenance schedule will be a lot easier to start creating.
A year from now, we'll be, I mean, I'm not gonna say caught up, but I mean, all the really bad stuff will be taken care of and on that schedule then, you know. So that's what we're doing now, is picking the kind of the worst of the worst and fixing that first, and the most traveled stuff, you know. But it's now that we've got this new piece of machinery, the maintainer mainly, and then the box, we're gonna be able to cover some ground and, you know, make a big difference. So that's the plan, on top of the maintenance schedule.
See anything else?
No.
There's a few things that's just the typo on what it's labeled as.
Okay, so we're going to set public hearing for the budget fiscal year 2027. Set the date.
You have to set the tax rate, you have to know how much money you have before you can set the budget.
Right.
Because the tax rate determines how much money you have based on your ad valorem, and you need to set the budget again, it's. You know, it feels weird, it's the way it's supposed to be.
Goes out, I can have it in paper by Wednesday the fifth. So we go out Thursday,
Your charter says 15 days.
15th,
I thought there was a difference in the law on the charter.
and it counts weekends, count or no? Is it business days?
It
or-
just says 15 days. so that's
15 days,
fine.
sorry, yes. So after the 20th.
So you're thinking we can get it in the 6th?
Oh, I can do it on the 6th.
We time up to the 21st, right?
Yes.
And
So then after that, we just So, do we have a meeting the 17th and do a meeting the 24th? Do we do public hearing on the 24th? I guess we're. Thoughts?
We would meet one on the 17th, as opposed to do it at the 24th after the public hearing.
I mean, that's up to you all if you want, I mean, we can.
I mean, is there something coming up that we need one on the 17th, and we need to get on the 24th?
I think we can do it all together. We need to go out for RFPs for banks, because that's up now. So unless, I mean, this is,
I'd just say the
that's
24th would be done.
24th.
Everybody knows what that's for.
So we can do all that.
I hear a motion to set that proposed tax rate?
I make a motion, set the tax rate.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the proposed tax rate amount. Any discussion?
I think this is supposed to be a voice vote.
It is supposed to be a
Yes.
voice.
Roll call, so.
Okay. You need,
We need to do all of it. That's so another vote.
okay.
Council member Akins.
Yes. In favor.
Council member Fulton.
Go for it.
Mayor Colley.
Yes.
Council member Lane. Yeah. Council member Gray.
Aye. You wanna say?
Can I put that in minutes?
All right, so do we have any future items to consider?
To have, I'm not gonna say the name, but I know you'll, recognize that they wanted to rebuild the fence. Did that ever get done? When, city property was like past the fence line?
Yes, we,
Okay, this was
Yes.
2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Maybe it's on.
Yes. I didn't know if that's something I could share and see if we have the right stuff to have on there. But it was approved. I can tell her it was approved. We just need to get the permit.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything else? Well, if not, we're going to,
Hold on a second. David,
Yes.
I'm sorry to do this to you. I was talking to David about groundwater.
Yes, sir.
Well water. What is the difference in the expense on trying to treat groundwater as opposed to pond water?
On the expense side for treatment, it's more work, it's gonna be more on the pumps and keeping the pump going. You have more minerals on the groundwater side than you do of contaminants.
Okay,
And that's treated easily. It's just, when it comes to groundwater, then you're mixing, like I was saying, so then that means that our guys have to get more training on groundwater, just like that we have a better understanding of what's coming out of the ground on the mineral side. A lot of cities do it to where they're mixing surface water and groundwater.
okay.
So part of the groundwater, like, you have to have an operator go out to wherever the well is, check the well, make sure that the well is pumping properly, that you have power, just a normal
Just,
function
yeah,
of everything. And possible, depending on how much water you would get out of that well, do you want to invest in getting a generator out to that pump to always have water coming out of there if that's something that you would want to look into. But on the treatment side, it wouldn't be any problem. So Frank can handle
we
it.
won't make a significant difference on what it's costing
No,
to
sir.
get the water cleaned up.
More electric than anything else. But
Okay,
on the chemical side, until we actually do testing, labs, jar testing
Right.
with what our chemicals are doing versus what the water would do,